So they not gonna show us Thor after all of this hype? We don't know what that motherfucker looks like still. They gonna save it to the game, and I gotta wait. What's cracking, Geek Reactions ENT? So you see in the title what we're going to be talking about today, and it's something that I never thought that I would have to cover, but I do enjoy doing these videos because I love giving my perception and my ideas on the situation at hand, right? So a couple days ago, we all saw that the God of War trailer dropped for the PlayStation event. One of my main concerns was that they didn't show what Thor will look like in the game. That was the most disappointing thing that, I think I came out of watching that video with. Don't get me wrong, absolutely love the trailer, absolutely love the God of War games. I love it all. But I wanted to see what this Thor would look like. You know what I mean? Because we got the Thor in the Avengers game, we got the Thor in the MCU, we got the mythology Thor. So I wanted to see what kind of iteration Santa Monica Studios would take on with the character. And as we can see here, this is what they decided to go with, right? They dropped all of the, character descriptions and the character pictures on Twitter and IGN and all, various game and news sites. And I was kind of shocked. I'm not going to lie. I was kind of shocked. But here is the thing about it. I don't have a problem with it like a lot of people do, okay? In my opinion, I absolutely love the design because it's actually in canon with Norse mythology on what he's described to look like. You know what I mean? And then in the first game, well, not the first game, 2018 God of War, Mimir said that Thor was a fat baby, basically, right? So in my head, I was like, okay, they may go with the route of fat Thor, more of Norse mythology Thor, Viking god of thunder. And I saw on Twitter someone pointed out that the statue in the game was a very bulky and godlike Thor, right? And he was like, how did he tagged the game creator? He was like, how did we go from this to what you see up here? And someone simply commented, and it made so much sense that they said maybe the person that made the statue was afraid of being killed by him because you made the statue look like a fat, lazy, out of shape man, which it made so much sense because why would you be hired by a god to create a statue of a god and then make the statue look like a lazy sack of shit, basically? Thor is a baby in Norse mythology. He's going to be a baby in this game. He's, been alluded to being a giant baby. So why would you create a statue that looks exactly how the character looks, right? Me personally, I have absolutely no issues with the way Thor looks. I actually love that they're going with this, right? As you can see here on Reddit, because I do follow the God of War Reddit subreddit, I follow both accounts, Ragnarok and just the overall God of War subreddit. The only thing wrong with Thor is that he has no chest hair. Either way, I don't give a fuck. I like the way he looks. I like the way they designed the character. If I was to imagine what Thor would actually look like back when Norse mythology was prominent in culture, this is what because Vikings were all brooding, beer drinking berserkers. You know what I mean? They all weren't built like Chris Hemsworth. They all weren't built like WWE superstars. They all weren't built like the Incredible Hulk. This is as close to Norse mythology as you can get. You know what I mean? So it's kind of shocking to me that people had an issue, and I think Marvel has desensitized people with the character of Thor to where every incarnation should look like Chris Hemsworth. We had this whole issue when the Avengers game dropped over a year and a half ago, where they weren't happy with the way Thor looked because it didn't look like the MCU Thor. And again, I didn't have a problem with it because not every Thor needs to look like the Chris Hemsworth Thor. We have that Thor, we have the Avengers games Thor, we have this Thor, we have some of the Thor incarnations in the comic books, we have some of the incarnations in Neil Gaiman's graphic novels of Norse mythology, which I've read. So we have the Assassin's Creed Valhalla Thor, who was short and fat. So it's just kind of like, why are people so angry about this? You know what I mean? And of course, they have their rights to be angry about a character that they've grown to love, but you don't have a right to completely shit on the studio because they decide to go with this design. Okay, this isn't Thor from the MCU. This isn't Chris Hemsworth's Thor. This is a completely different take on the character of Thor. And in my opinion, I think this Thor has a better chance against Kratos than the MCU Thor, in my opinion, because this Thor just looks like a hothead. He looks like he doesn't care. He looks like all no holds barred. He just looks like a brute. He looks like someone that literally fuck you up. You know what I mean? They've made the Thor in the MCU too much of a comedian to give me, you know, that feeling of, oh, something life. He's too serious. You know what I mean? So I'm excited to see what they do with this Thor. He had his sons in the last game. One was tall and built like Hercules, and then the other one was short, fat, with red hair, just like his dad. You know, I think they wanted the is Magni? I think it was Magni that was killed. They wanted this Thor to look like that, and no, I'm sorry. His son will look like that, of course. His son will look like him, of course. But leave it to the MCU to do what they're doing with that Thor. Let us have this Thor. Let us have fun with this Thor. Okay, we got Tyr. We got different gods in this. We got a more realistic take on Norse mythology. We got Kratos that has a different character design than the earlier trilogy. You know, Atreus grew up. We were supposed to be getting what Odin looks like in this, which I can't wait. I hope they go with the hooded one persona of him where he's wearing a hood and, you know, I can't wait. So let's read the comments on this subreddit and see what people have to say about this Thor, okay? Second X Ronin, Ghost of Sparta, Thor waxes. Judging by Magni's design, they do family spa sessions. See, so it was Magni that died. Odin 2. Using lightning zap. That one makes sense, relatively because of those ashes in his pores. I can only assume his beard is just so powerful. Just ignore the logic, though. It looks pretty smooth, almost comforting. Let's see. 100% on board with that. Beer belly, beer belly, mythology accurate Thor should have chest hair and belly hair. Thick, busty pubes. I don't want to know what kind of hair Thor has down below, if I may add. Mythology accurate, not really. He's described as being a big drinker, and from some verses, you can assume he has a big appetite, but he's also fierce looking. And nowhere is it written he is grossly overweight with man boobs. In fact, you can almost infer the opposite. Seeing as he has a god he's a god associated with strength and warriors, and Norsemen probably envisioned the greatest warrior in their stories as looking like a peaked version of their own warriors. Moreover, edited. I should probably say I actually don't mind the depiction of Thor and God of War because it goes well with God of War's take on the character. But I also understand how a lot of people see it as silly, and it annoys me when people try to and dismiss them by saying it's mythology accurate. You said it a couple times. It's mythology accurate. They're going the route of being accurate to different mythologies, right? Thor has been depicted as a fat, drunken powerhouse in Norse mythology. It only became different when the MCU started, depicting the character as a giant bodybuilder. Someone with traps, someone with pecs, someone with obliques, someone with just muscles all around. No body fat. He had the long hair, but no grizzly beard, no long hair. Thor, if I envision Thor, and this is just me, I would envision Thor like this. The Nordics and the Vikings and all that were not, they were strong, but they weren't bodybuilders. You know what I mean? If anything, the Irish were like the bigger ones. The Scottish were the bigger ones. And maybe I'm wrong. None of us were born in that time to know like how they depicted these mythologies and stuff. But from what I've read, Thor has always been fat. And if I saw it right, this Thor doesn't really have man boobs either. He just has a beer gut. That's what happens when you drink a lot of beer. He drinks a lot. You know, of course he's a god, but I think his mother was a giant and his dad was Odin. So he has DNA from both. So he's not going to be like the peak of godhood. You know what I mean? He's going to have some of the DNA from the giants. That's just who he is. I don't have a problem. He looks fierce to me. He looks like he could fuck some shit up. I think people are prejudging. We haven't even seen the character in action. This is a picture. You know what I mean? It's a picture, so you can't really judge the character based off of a picture that you see. It's not moving. It's not animated. There's no dialogue given. The dialogue that was given in the trailer, I think, was really good. You seem like a reasonable person. Are you reasonable? If we get more dialogue like that from this character, I think it'll be fine. I think people will dismiss how he looks and how he carries himself and what he does. You know what I mean? It's Thor. No one had this issue with Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And this Thor looks a lot bigger than the one in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Okay? That Thor was short as shit. He was about Kevin Height's height. This Thor looks at least the same size as Kratos, if not a little taller. I don't get the issue. Let the game developers do their thing, and you just play the damn game. I understand people have their opinions on what he should look like, but if it's not fitting in with the narrative that this game has going for it, then just let it be. They're not going to change it. The game is coming out next year. The whole thing is fucking done. They're probably rendering some more, but that's it. They're not going back and changing the character to the character that you guys want to see. I don't want to see a muscly Thor in this universe. I'm sorry. I just don't. We get Chris Hemsworth in that. We get Thor in the Marvel's game as a muscly musclehead. We're getting him in What If as a party, like a party Thor. So these are different studios doing different things with different characters. This is more Norse accurate. This is more mythology accurate. Let it go. You know what I mean? Just let it happen. See how they play it and see how Thor plays in the game. Hell, he may be stronger than Kratos. You know what I mean? Let's see. Gender. I see it. Okay. I see this too a lot. And I get it. In fact, that was the idea I had for Thor in this game. But there's a difference between them. Look at the difference between Thor's saggy mobs versus Hall's massive pectorals. And look at Thor's soft-looking jelly belly compared to Hall's firmer-looking one. Hall exudes strength. Thor exudes gluttony. You see what I mean? I disagree. Thor pretty much exactly like Eddie Hall. I think his mobs look bigger in the picture because of his chest tattoo. Yeah, that's right. His chest tattoo does make his chest. Makes it look like skin is folded and gives it the illusion that he's being more outward saggy. Let me just say this, right? There are some bodybuilders that have guts but have like very solid pecs, traps, arms, biceps, triceps, forearms. They look solid. Like what's that Norwegian bodybuilder? I think his name is Zeus. No, it's not Zeus. He was an actor. He played in Game of Thrones and everything. He's like that really, really 7 foot, like big giant bodybuilder. He has a beer belly. He doesn't have a beer belly, but his belly isn't all cut up and stuff. But up here looks like solid. That's what I see with this Thor. That's all I see. Like, literally, that's all I see. He looks like he has a solid up top, and then his stomach's just a little big. I don't get the whole gripe. But, that's just my opinion. If you guys like the discussion, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think about this. I'll still be playing the game the same, in my opinion. I expect war. I expect death. I expect two gods to literally kick each other's asses. That's what I'm expecting. And I think I'm going to have a fun time with that. If you like the content, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm currently making a new Twitch. I'll be uploading gameplays on that. So go ahead, head over there and subscribe to the Twitch channel. I really appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I'm out. Peace.